It appears that MLS franchise Inter Miami are eager to bring in Lionel Messi to North America, and the thing that's working in their favour is co-owner David Beckham's relationship with the player. Can the North American Giants make the deal happen? Kylian Mbappe is eager to join Real Madrid, but at the same time, the young Frenchman also wants to make history with PSG. More than that, the Spanish Giants are actually willing to bend a role that they have been uncompromising about for the most part of the last 2 decades. Athletic Bilbao might not be as famous as the likes of Real Madrid, Barcelona and Atletico Madrid, but the Basque club is once again flying high, which shouldn't come as a surprise. Project Barcelona Revival is at full speed now, and Xavi has identified 2 players who he believes can help the club return to the dizzying heights he experienced as a player. With Paul Pogba set to leave Man United this summer, the club has identified a player who could replace the Frenchman. Before we get started, we want to share the sponsor of today's video. The OneFootball app is the ultimate football platform and is a must-have for every football fan, so that you can follow all of your favourite leagues, teams and players all the time right from your phone. You can be sure to turn on notifications for specific players to be instantly alerted when they score a goal or when they're involved in other breaking news. It is the best and easiest way to stay up to date with everything football. Click the link in the description down below to download the app right now. You won't regret it. Manchester United have identified Christopher Nkunku as the man that they want to replace Paul Pogba with. Nkunku has established himself as one of the most exciting talents in the Bundesliga. The French international has become a staple at Leipzig and is starting to attract interest, especially from the Premier League. The 24-year-old has scored 31 goals and provided 40 assists in 115 appearances for the German club since joining in July 2019 from PSG. He notably recorded a hat-trick against Manchester City earlier this season and is behind only Sebastian Haller and Robert Lewandowski in the Champions League top scorer rankings. RB Leipzig paid just €14 million for the versatile player. He's now estimated to be worth more than $50 million despite having more than 2 years left on his contract, which expires in June 2024. But German club manager Oliver Mintzlaff is not open to the prospect of selling this year. He said, "Nkunku will also play with us next season because, of course, he is a very important player," before continuing, "In football, nothing is ever certain, but that is our plan. We don't have many players who can leave us in the summer. We want to strengthen the team rather than weaken it." But if RB Leipzig give the green light to a sale, who are the favourites? ESPN claim the Red Devils were not interested in the player, but scouts have been told to increase their focus on Nkunku. The Barcelona manager already knows who he wants to sign this summer. We can say that the atmosphere is quite happy in Barcelona at the moment. Xavi Hernandez's troops have had some good results in recent weeks and, above all, have finally shown some good things on the pitch. The winter rookies have a lot to do with it, since they're already performing well, while the golden youth of the team continues to impress everyone. But the former La Roja midfielder knows that this all might not be enough to return to the very top of the footballing pyramid, first in Spain and then in Europe. Therefore, he has asked his president Joan Laporta for 2 players for next season. First of all, there is Kalidou Koulibaly, who has become the number 1 option in defence. The Neapolitan defensive rock is considered a guaranteed player and would also be cheaper than other options like Jules Koundé. Mundo Deportivo, however, indicates that Napoli would start negotiating around €70 million, a prohibitive amount for Barcelona. The second player claimed by the Catalan media outlet is none other than Erling Haaland. In this duel with Real Madrid, who are convinced of being able to attract the Norwegian and Mbappe, Barcelona remain confident. Money would not be a problem in this story, and Joan Laporta is ready to do anything to carry out the operation successfully. 2 priority reinforcements therefore, while the club is also active on secondary tracks, such as those leading to Cesar Azpilicueta and Andreas Christensen. If there's a club for which the academy is a pillar that supports everything, it is Athletic Bilbao. Being able to field only Basque players with a few exceptions, the Bilbao Giants heavily rely on academy graduates and a few local players that they can pick up here and there. Historically, it has worked well for the club, which is one of the most successful ones in the country and has never been relegated. This season, under Marcelino, they're on cloud 9. After a mixed start, they qualified for the Copa del Rey semi-finals and are in 8th place in the league standings. The Spanish tactician has managed to get the best out of this team, Athletic are now an unpredictable team that's capable of hurting its opponents in multiple ways. The future looks really bright for this team, with the likes of Danny Vivian, Oyan Sanset and Nico Williams becoming key players in the starting 11. Watch out for this team because they might surprise us a lot in the coming months. When you know what Zlatan did here, it's symbolic. These are high standards. We are in a very closed circle. I managed to match him, and if there is no big problem, I think I will overtake him. There remains Eddie. We'll see how it goes. But of course, being the top scorer in the history of PSG, we can't spit on it, so we'll see what will happen. The words of Kylian Mbappe after the game against ASSE have made people talk. Is it a way to open the door to signing a new contract in Paris? Only the player concerned knows it, but in recent weeks, the hypothesis of seeing him sign a new lease with his current club is gaining more and more momentum. For their part, Marca explained that Real Madrid remain optimistic, but that there is a point where it could be seriously tense. Image rights are reportedly at the heart of negotiations. Real Madrid are not used to sharing more than 50% of the image rights with the players. This means that the club pockets half of the income from the players' various contracts. In the case of Mbappe, as was the case for Cristiano Ronaldo, the colleagues of Florentino Perez could, however, yield. This would compensate in particular for the losses the youngster will incur. Mbappe will receive a lower salary in the event of signing for Madrid than the one he would receive by extending with Paris. The Mbappe clan has therefore asked for a percentage of the sales of the jersey from Real Madrid, who have refused. Negotiations around these image rights therefore promise to be decisive in this case. It's a very important championship and it is developing a lot. Important players are coming, and I think in the future it will continue to develop a lot more. I hope Messi will go to MLS because it would be an advantage for MLS and for the country, and if he wants to, he will have fun and be happy here. This is what Gonzalo Higuain said a few days ago about La Pulga, the centre-forward of Inter Miami, clearly appealing to his compatriots playing at Paris Saint-Germain to join him in Florida. Far from trivial remarks from the mouth of the former Real Madrid, Napoli and Juventus striker, because since his resounding arrival in the French capital last summer, the 7-time Ballon d'Or winner has struggled to regain his former level. There is certainly age, which is to be taken into account, but many observers argue that the former Barcelona man is not very happy in Paris. And while a return to Barcelona might seem logical, the future could well be written in the United States and in Major League Soccer. Inter Miami, whose owner is none other than David Beckham, is doing and will do everything to try and attract the legendary Argentine international to his team. At a press conference ahead of the start of the new season, the former Manchester United man admitted that he has always wanted the best players in his club because there is a certain expectation from him. Co-owner Jorge Mas also believes that Beckham's relationship with the player could pave the way for a move to Florida. In fact, he's confirmed that the club will push for Messi. Inter Miami, through its co-owners, had already assured that it had worked very hard last summer to recruit Lionel Messi before the latter opted for the Rouge et Bleu. The seduction operation is in any case fully launched, and don't be surprised if the move happens somewhere down the road.